put in my 2 weeks. I 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 put in my 2 weeks.
Resignation.
You've never put in your 2 weeks.
I
That's a weird move anyway.
yeah, I mean,
Who does that?
it's
and it's this unspoken rule, right?
yeah, it's like
that's what you're supposed to
you
do.
always have to do it. It's
But
like,
you know what?
it's cool. It's more punk to just quit.
I think so. But also, it's like they don't have to give you 2 weeks if they want to let you go,
That's
right? They
true.
can just let you go on the spot. So
It's a
fuck 'em.
it's a it's a liberating thing to do. You know, so, I mean, some people, you know, they don't want to pull the Band-Aid off right away. I suppose they want to have their got a little bridge stable to get to the next bridge before they jump off.
Have you ever quit a job without having any other job
Oh yeah,
lined up? Yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that was my move. Very
It's
rarely do I have a backup
finding
plan.
there's so many jobs. There's so many room for lots of jobs.
Here in town, here
Especially
in
in
Austin, I found when I first moved here, my big fear was I wasn't going to find a job because I came from Lubbock, and I really had a hard time finding a job over there. But when I came here, I was like really surprised at how
there's
easy
so
it was to
much.
find just the most
Yeah.
random job, and it
Crepes.
paid pretty good. Like
Yeah.
nothing pays like total dog shit. Although I worked for a moving company for like 2 weeks, and it was the worst paying job. It was so bad.
That's a lot of labor.
It was, and they paid you. It was literally like they wanted you to be in at the office at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
So you get there, but your time doesn't start when you get there. It
What?
started. So here's what would happen: you would get to the office at 5. You'd meander around for 45 minutes, waiting on everybody else to get there. Then you'd get in your truck, and then you would drive across town to whatever house that you were going to move that day. And when you got to the house, that's when your time started.
Man, I don't
And
like
then-
that at all.
And then, once you left the house, is
You
when
had
your
to stop your
ended.
time?
And then, so like the drive from whatever house you're moving to whatever house they're moving into,
They don't count it.
they don't count that time in between. It was horrible.
That's
I
yeah,
hated it.
They gypped you.
They really did. Can you
Cheap.
say that anymore?
Man, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That happened the other day. I was talking to my dad, and he said Oriental, and I was like, you
Oh.
can't say that anymore. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I felt good to educate him. And he's like, he goes, well, what do you call a Mexican? I'm like, you can call him Mexican's fine.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
can't call everybody from the Orient, I suppose.
I saw a video of a cocktail maker. He was like doing like a tutorial thing, and they called him an exotic cocktail dude, but he was just Japanese. And I was like, he's exotic, and I was like, what? The drinks were normal. That's not what was
here's an
exotic.
old-fashioned.
Yeah, very old fashioned.
Too old-fashioned.
My God.
That's pretty funny.
So, this is. Oh yeah, we should.
Welcome to the Resignation
podcast.
Wow.
It's a podcast about jobs that Joey and I have had. Just talking about employment in general, various
Crazy
aspects
jobs.
crazy jobs.
Why do people work? You got to work to be alive, and
I
then
guess.
when you're alive, it feels like work. What's the deal with
Well, that's the deal. But here's the thing. Here's what makes this podcast, I think, interesting. Is we're going to talk about jobs that you either haven't heard of before, or they're antiquated.
old?
They're old. Like, oh man,
Too old.
we can't
Or too
believe
crazy.
somebody did that for money.
Yeah.
So
There's
that's
a lot of them out there, and we got a
Yes.
lot of funny stories about how we quit jobs, lost jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Austin's been a hodgepodge of me walking out of places.
Oh yeah, I think I was saying that earlier. 2018, I had like 7 jobs. I don't know.
Just in 2018?
Yeah.
What? Can you name them?
Off the top, well, what was my first job after the flower shop Used to.
Joey worked at a flower shop, literally a building down from a dry cleaners that I worked at.
Yeah, I drove past that place now, and it's like
It's empty.
no, it's
The flower place or the dry cleaning place?
the dry cleaning place. It's Tide.
Tide.
Tide, like the cleaning. It's a Tide store. I don't know what. I
What?
drove past it. Yeah, and it
They
said
just sell Tide?
it said Tide, the logo for the like the cleaning product thing, and I was like,
I
I didn't
think
look in there, but I don't know if they might have took over.
I think Tide has its own dry cleaning branch.
That would make sense.
I remember seeing Tide laundry bags sometimes. So that makes sense. That was the building that my car got crushed. Just a brief history. I was working at this dry cleaners and a semi truck clipped the building that I was working in, and this truck pulled a wall down, and it
Just destroyed his car.
flattened my car. It literally pulled half of a building down on top of my
Something
car.
out of a movie.
It was crazy.
Everybody.
then they
would take
fired me after
pictures.
that.
They'd fire.
Yeah.
Like the next day.
Like within a week, because they said we're not gonna pay to fix the sign, so we're not gonna keep the business, so we're just gonna cut the business out. I was like, well, you've got multiple locations. Can I just transfer to another one? Like, nah, we've got those stores full. I'm like, man, fuck you.
Oh wow, it's a very. I like that. He's like, well, this building's gone to shit. We're just gonna dip.
Yeah.
So
And,
here's your position.
They let me go, and I literally, because I didn't have a car, walked down the street to another dry cleaner, and I got a delivery job for
There
them.
you go.
I was unemployed for 45 minutes.
Good turnaround. Like,
Yeah.
where'd you work? That one right there. Just they just
Yeah.
closed.
I told them, I was like,
Literally.
dry cleaners apparently have like this weird rivalry going on.
Oh, of course.
So I was like,
you know,
fuck West Bank Dry Cleaning. They're the worst. And they're like, they are the worst. Yeah. We'll take you on,
you
man.
got. Oh yeah, because you were fiery.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then I got probably my favorite job that I've had in
Yeah,
Austin.
I remember you talking about that one. That one's
It was
good.
so good.
It's a good one.
I couldn't believe how good it was.
There was, I think the one I had right after the flower shop was this weird tech one that I found on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I got to do more with this company, but for the first thing they had me do was they had like all these like Samsung tablets, and they had some hospital was their client, and they got to give all their nurses and their doctors all these tablets, and I had to like wipe like the data on them and like make them so when they started they had the doctor apps on there. Like it wasn't like a normal
Weird.
pad. It was something. It was like a pad and only the doctors. And I'm not a tech guy at all. They just like they had like this little program where you do the step by step and
Oh,
you just follow that. And oh yeah, I was cooking at that, man. That was a good one. You know, it was so simple, so easy.
They fired you?
No, that like I got moved up. They gave me more tasks and they got more complicated, and I was like, all right, can I please go back to putting the apps on the tablets and sending them out, please? Because I did that, and then their thing with the hospital was over. Like they just needed to get them to them, and then
It was a temporary job.
yeah, and they had a bunch. So I did that for like close to 2 months, and then there was like a week or so break, and then they said they would contact anyone at the end of that week who they
But they never
wanted
did.
for.
They
No,
never
they
did.
they hit me up.
They did?
Yeah, they were like, "You want to come back and try to get a real job here?" They remember saying that. It was like some kind of like, "You want to like an upgrade?" I was like, "Oh no, it's probably gonna be worse." And lo and behold, it was.
Oh, that
But I met
sucks.
a good guy. Shout out to my homie Nigel.
Nigel.
I met my homie Nigel there, and my friend Andy, who lives in Ireland. That was fun. Andy, shout out to Andy. I forgot your last name, dog. I'm sorry. Only thing I remember about him, he was talking about he really liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he'd call them the Chilies all the time.
Oh my God. This is Andy?
Yeah, he's
Sorry, Andy.
Like, he's like, go to Bonnaroo, see the Chilies, yeah,
What?
the Chilies.
Good God.
Those cats were cool.
Hell yeah.
Nigel
well,
plays bass guitar. really good at playing bass.
Okay.
He's a cool cat. He came to some comedy stuff. I
Man.
still hang out with him. You ever keep a friend from a job?
No, and it's interesting because we were talking about this a couple of days ago. Absolutely not. Like most of the dudes that I would work with, I hung out a little bit outside of work, but like I was doing stand up. I had my friend. I had like a still do like a huge array of friends that I'm not trying to pick up.
Yeah, I guess Nigel and I probably stayed friends because I'd go see him when he'd play with his band, and then he'd be like, "Oh, dude, I want to see comedy," and I was like, "Oh, here's." So I love music, so I normally keep a friend from a day job if they're in a band I like, or if there's shit's just good, and I'm just like, I'll go hear some music,
Yeah.
A little trade off.
Yeah, I never did. Dude, like breaking.
If you're
up
not
with
creative
somebody.
at all, get out of here.
They never were. I always ended up being around like super right wing Republican dudes.
That's a good job.
Yeah, and it was just like, do your thing, man. But I would never hang out with you outside of work, probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I worked in a wood shop once here in town, and it had no insulation. So in the summer it was fucking hot, and in the winter it was super fucking cold. But they had speakers wired in all around the wood shop, and they would just blast Rush Limbaugh. And it was awful. It was like being in a fucking prison camp.
Good gosh.
It was horrible.
Man,
And that was one job that I literally walked out on.
Nice.
Like I was a painter, and I was painting bookcases. That's what we made. And just in between like two fucking bookcases, I was like, nope.
You just heard one Rush Limbaugh sentence that was too much.
Yes, I just heard the N-word too much.
I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Rolling, man. This sucks. I'm gonna work here.
You were trapped.
Ugh, it was horrible.
Working for the man.
It was.
That's how it is, man. So many times, you feel you're pressured to stay in a thing because they give you just enough money to hold your head.
Yeah, I mean, that woodshop thing was the second job I had in Austin, so I still at that time felt obligated to keep whatever job I had because I still didn't know what was available. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, any job I got thereafter, I got because of comics, friends of mine that worked at a place, and they got me a job there. But I just didn't have that many friends starting out, so whatever job I got, I tried to keep as long as I could.
Yeah.
9 months was always sort of my mark. 9 months was it. It always felt way longer than that.
Of like once it hits 9 months, you're out?
Once it hit it was very weird. Once it hit 9 months, I always felt like, fuck, I hate this job. I want to get out of here. And it always ended up being a 9 months.
We've gotten all too familiar with ourselves here.
Yeah.
I need to leave.
Like 3 or 4 times, I'd last 9 months at a place and just bounce.
Yeah. I mean, if it's stressful, that's usually how I feel. It's like some kind of time signature like that where I'm like, okay, can I like keep up with this job and still do comedy, or is it like draining me enough?
Right.
Where like now this is, I've been doing this too long. I need to find something that eases my mind more. Or I do that, like I hate kind of doing the same thing over and over again, really.
Right.
So I'm always like, yeah, that's when, I got into temp agencies too. They'd place me on different assignments every other month or so. That's pretty good. Are you getting a little jingle jangle?
Yeah, I had an alarm set. I have no idea why.
It's motherfucking, what time is it right now? It's 6.
I don't know.
You waking up from a nap?
Probably. I have no idea. Well, what do you think? You want to get into get into this thing I found?
Oh yeah, what'd you find?
So here's a job that I heard about, and I said, no way that's real, or was real.
Your jaw hit your dick.
Yeah, it did. And it hurt my dick, and I was like, this sucks. I can't remember where I think I saw an article. I was like, this isn't real. Then I started doing my research. Turns out this was a real job. You ready for it?
Oh yeah, I am.
This is a job called a Garden Hermit.
The Garden Hermit.
Yeah. Now, when I first heard this, I was like,
sounds like
like a gnome. Like
it sounds like a prog rock band name.
Before the glass or plaster lawn gnomes were real dudes that just stood out in hats. That's what I thought. No, turns out that in the 18th century, wealthy landowners would hire hermits to live on their property. That was like there was a dude in town that they were like, "Hey, I'm a rich dude.
I want to buy you.
I want to hire you to work for me. What do you say?"
Hire
He's
you.
like, "Oh my god, this is a dream come true. I've been looking for a job." And what these guys did is they built shacks or caves on their property, and they would hire this dude to live in this cave.
Yep.
And it says here that they were encouraged to dress like druids and remain permanently on the site where they could be fed, cared for, and consulted for advice or viewed for entertainment.
View.
Like a fucking zoo animal.
What's like a druid? Is that like a witch? Is that like a warlock?
I think druid was
like a big
sort of
robe?
a race of people.
Yeah.
Am I? Man, I'm so
I'll look
fucking
it. I'll look
stupid.
it up on my one. Like
I know it's a beard thing.
Yeah.
Beard and
Oh,
robe
yeah,
thing,
they want you to make.
but I don't know
yeah.
why.
Yeah, it's like a mage. It'll make you look like a
Oh, that's a word I haven't heard in a long time.
a mage. That's a good. That's a gig. You know, curse people.
Yeah, this dude
What-
was just like
That's
cruising
funny.
through
Is
town.
this slavery?
No,
I mean,
because
no,
they
he's getting
paid him.
hired. Yeah, he's getting money.
So apparently,
fed.
multiple royal families would have, they got all their estates, and every estate had one of these guys, and they would like dress like one up each other. They were like, "Oh, my garden hermit's got,
he
fucking-
can cartwheel.
yeah, he can do all sorts of crazy shit."
Mine can juggle.
Well, one thing I read about them is that they were often encouraged to like tell fortunes and shit. This is just like a guy, like a weird spiritual handyman.
I like. Yeah, you said consult for advice. It's like a hermit who's.
What does he know?
Yeah, what's he know?
He lives in a cave.
You're the wealthy person.
Yeah.
Don't you? What do you want him? You just want him to just mumble some like
Yeah, these dudes.
homeless person jargon at you that sounds kind of insightful. And you're
These
like,
dudes
"Oh, yeah."
snagged these guys up, put them in a cave in their backyard, and then when problems arose, they're like, "You know what? You know who I think has the answers to all my problems? My fucking garden hermit."
I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go see if he thinks I should divorce my wife.
Yeah, and he's like, "Absolutely," because he's banging her.
Yeah. Oh, hermit.
Yeah, no, hermit.
Oh, the garden hermit. Man, that's pretty interesting.
Would you do that job?
Yeah, sounds pretty chill. I want to almost think. Yeah, I want the rich people to seem nice in my head, like as if.
But they
There's
weren't.
there's like one guy in town and is struggling, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we want to help him." He's like, "Oh, you know that guy who's always leaning on the food cart when you go to the market." He's like, "We could put him in the hole. We could put him in the cave."
I just don't understand what the initial intention was for this. You're like,
Yeah, I mean, back then, fuck, they had no entertainment, so I guess they had to put people in the hole in the shack.
here's my
The
theory
shack
on
sounds better than the hole.
cave.
The cave, yeah, a cave's a hole. So-
It is.
but it's
It's an above-ground
outside,
hole.
Yeah, it's an above ground hole. Also, I like you said, 1800s can make caves. Probably takes.
You can make a cave.
You can get. A
Here's
couple
the
people
thing, and here's
shoveling.
my theory on this. Wealth back then meant something very, very different. And I also think they probably had way more.
wealth disparity.
It's not even so much wealth. I think that if you had a certain amount of money, you could literally get away with whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's
these
no
people
law
got away
back
with so much
then.
for hundreds of years that when somebody had this wild idea to hire a garden hermit,
Someone
nobody was like, "That's fucking weird, dude."
Yeah, there was no king to be like.
Yeah.
No.
They're all
King,
incestuous.
Yeah, the
and
king
shit.
has like. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Did they
had
have
no
an interview
rules back
process,
then.
or did they just snag this
Yeah,
dude?
they picked three
They're all
slummy
shuffling
looking
papers
dudes.
like it says here that you had a beard. Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, he was
We
like,
encourage you to.
I shaved it for the interview. No.
They're like Mike Judge in Office Space. They're like, you do want to express your druidity, don't you?
Like,
We're gonna need you to wear at least 3 pieces of robes.
Gotta have 3 or just good tattered one.
Yeah.
Man, living in that'd be the again. I like the shack sounds better than the cave.
Shack even sounds
Pretty
rough.
good.
Here's what I think.
I think a shack sounds good.
If they're going for authenticity here, I think you build a shack, you make it look ransacked, right? Because who wants to go to hey, I've got a fortune teller in my backyard, and you go out there, it's some back house, they got a spa in it or whatever. You don't want that. You want a cave or B, a shack, right?
That'd be funny.
If you were trying to be authentic.
They make the cave look shit or the shack look shitty on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have the space. You can't decorate it. You don't. Make it look like filth because I just need to show you off.
And of course,
can you believe he lives like this?
And of course, I didn't read all there was to be read about this, but
what else you got in there? Man.
Oh, so there was a guy. They found a guy that was like considered the first.
Oh, they have a historical.
Yeah, Professor Gordon Campbell, the University of Leicester. I don't know what the fuck that is. Suggests that Francis of Paola, 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 is that right? Who gives a fuck? Was among the first of the trend, living as a hermit in the early 15th century in a cave on his own father's estate.
Oh,
holy shit!
He was he just mooched off his family.
His dad literally was like, "Get the fuck out of my house." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go be a hermit.
I'm gonna run away
to a cave I made
in the backyard."
Literally moved into the tree fort in the back. That's what this jack off did.
What a privileged
little fuck.
Starts
telling fortunes.
That's like you see all those like these like gutter punk kids.
Yes,
and then they
exactly
go back to their parents' mansion.
You go down here on 6th Street, you can see these fucking garden hermits out there on 6th.
Their guy have it so rough, and they go back to their parents' house in Terrytown. Man, that's so funny that his dad, he was the first.
Ooh. So apparently, our whole cave shack theory wasn't the trend for all garden hermits. Says here,
someone went above and beyond. Was like, I'm gonna make it.
Thereafter, throughout France, estates of dukes and other lords often included small chapels and other buildings where a resident religious hermit could remain in attendance.
A religious hermit. Oh man, how many of you that fucking were pulling their leg? They're like, you want me to live with? Yeah, I love God. I love him.
Love him so much. Yeah, look at this chapel, man.
He's the best. You can feed me and house me. Yeah, I love Jesus. 10 Commandments.
As you can tell by my buttresses, Jesus loves me.
10 Commandments. Number 1, be nice. Number 2, just I like the idea of a religious cave hermit trying to make up the 10 Commandments on his head.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like these people had so much money that they just could afford to have their own church with a dude in the back.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like, you're religious, aren't you? You didn't have a job before. Now you're a priest.
It's crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
The Cave Hermit.
So according to that historian...
So not really a garden hermit. It's just like Cave Hermit.
According to that historian, the first estate with a well-known hermitage.
Hermitage? Is that like a village of hermits?
It's literally like, hold on. A hermitage, it says, included a small house, chapel, and a garden. This dude had the whole setup. He had a house to live in, a church to go to, and a garden.
This hermit did?
Yeah.
This hermit
it's called
had
Hermitage.
it all.
He had it all.
Why are we...
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Some rich person should pay us.
So the first one, the first well-known one, was at Chateau de Gaillon, renovated by Charles Cardinal de Bourbon, my man.
Renovated?
Yeah, during the 16th century. Yeah.
Oh.
Garden hermits became popular with British aristocracy during the 18th and early 19th centuries. Contemporary accounts suggest the Weld family kept an ornamental hermit in a purpose-built hermitage on the Lulworth estate in Dorset. Yeah.
Just keeping people on your property.
Yeah, dude.
For the... just...
This went all the way into the 1830s, which I find surprising.
Wow. So they still had caves back then.
Right. Above ground holes.
That... Man, I wish they still had them. Just be bored. Like, honey, you want to go play Monopoly with the hermit.
Yeah, it's just a dude. He's just got a permanent neighbor to hang out with.
Yeah.
And you're paying him, so
you
he's got to do
always
everything.
have to hang out.
Yeah.
And he's just pissed off. He's like, God, I don't want to fucking hang out with these people anymore.
They never mention whether the hermit had his own family and stuff.
Probably not.
Probably not. It's probably like in the
Oh,
contract.
That's sad.
Yeah. He was just out there by himself
That's
until
sad. You can't live.
he was like a toy that they put up on
Yeah.
a shelf.
Oh,
Yeah.
the duality of the cave hermit.
I bet they committed suicide a lot.
I bet, yeah.
Hung themselves in the chapel.
God damn.
Let's get a new hermit because
Yeah.
it sounds like a
It's-
great gig.
Oh, wow. There's the pros and the cons of the
Hermitage, dude.
hermitage. Man.
That's real money. People buy their fucking cars and their whatever.
Man, if you were bachelor style, though, that'd be a good way to just... I wonder if you
Yeah.
could bring
People
people back
Other
to your...
hermits?
Can you bring people back to your cave to engage in intercourse?
Oh.
If we yell at you. Or even hang out. I don't hang out. I just only bang.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Can you have friends? Can you...
I-
what if
If
yeah,
you can't,
the
I mean,
rich
who wants to be a
people-
friend with a
the
dude who
rich
lives in a
people come
cave?
visit and they go and the hermits got other hermits over
Yeah.
and they're like, oh fuck, look at all this shit.
What is it? A fucking... I
Yeah,
can't afford all these
what do you
hermits.
guys- what do you guys think this is? This is
I know whose hermit you are. Get the fuck out of here.
You're the Johnson.
shooing 'em
hermit,
away.
ain't ya? Yeah, throwing rocks at them.
If telephones were a thing, I'd call the fucking...
Yeah, I invented telephone. Hey, get over here. Your hermit's
Your hermit's over here bugging my hermit, man.
It's fucking ruining my shit.
That seems like it's just like taking on another member of your family for no other reason than you just want to
Want
say you have
entertainment
one.
or you're bored. Or,
Yeah.
yeah. That's also another thing. You know, back then, whenever it started, not too much to do.
They had croquet.
Did they have croquet? And what is that, the 1500s when it started?
I think
Probably.
they had
It's like-
croquet.
it sounds like a really old sport.
Yeah, they had croquet and they had hermits.
They had
That was what they had.
Fucking pushing a stick wheel with another stick.
Yeah, that whole thing.
And playing patty cake. And then
Patty
after that,
cake.
they're like, okay, let's go fucking play dice with the hermit.
With the dirt, they're rolling dice. They're taking what little money
They're
he's
playing
got.
CeeLo.
Yeah,
Throwing dice up against a wall.
we're pushing five.
Get back. Like, what happened? How the hermit fucking took all my money.
You see him the next day, and
Yeah.
he's
you
wearing
want-
fucking new hermit shit.
Like, hey, you can't. Where's your druid shit?
Now that's an interesting idea. Now,
Yeah. What do they do with the money?
Well, no. I was gonna say, do they they clearly looked like hermits, right? So was there like a hermit, fucking outlet store that they could all go get their shit at?
Yeah. Once they. I mean, maybe the rich people just paid them in food and shelter, and they didn't give them money.
Money.
Did that? I don't even remember. Did that description say pay them? They pay them.
They paid them.
Shit, yeah, it'd be interesting where it just keeps all these rubies behind a rock.
Yeah, if they didn't pay him, this would be a very weird job
Don't touch my-
podcast.
don't-
talking about homeless people.
Don't touch my pennies and my rubies. Yeah, I mean, yeah. After if you're a cave hermit for a couple years, you just, I don't know, you just become like a professional squatter. I guess. I mean,
That's what it sounds like.
you don't. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you got them. It sounds like you got money. You're getting fed. You got shelter. It sounds pretty.
Yeah, and I
Pretty
guess in
sick
the
gig.
18th
Stack
century,
up.
that's doing pretty good.
That's what I'd do. I'd just stack up. If I was a cave hermit, I'd just make some people laugh. And then I don't know. I'd try to buy a lute, learn to play the lute.
I wonder if there was ever a kid that saw a Garden Hermit and was just like, "That's what I want to be when I grow up."
That's yeah, man. I'm thinking of so many funny movies in my head
Yeah.
of Garden. It could be the kid. Maybe the kid. He's rich parents. He hates them and he runs away to the cave. And the Garden Hermit always makes him feel good or whatever. Or the Garden Hermit's like a Will Ferrell-esque character, and he's like a lazy weirdo kind of guy. You know.
Yeah. This would be a
Lovable.
funny movie.
Oh yeah.
But I think you would have to know what the hell a Garden Hermit was. If you just saw this movie without knowing anything about it, you're like, wait, this guy lives in their
So
backyard in a cave?
what's
What
the
fuck?
dynamic of this?
This is
Are they
insane.
related?
Well, that one dude was.
Yeah,
that
the
fucking
first
loser
one.
kid.
Man, what a good. That's a sick gig. Just run away from your parents' home and just go live behind it.
Yeah, you can just see their lights on in their bedroom.
Not much
from
to
your
do.
Cave. Look at them in
their
there enjoying
torches
their
on.
fucking fire. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
got
what
fire.
light they would have, actually.
Man.
I was going to say TV, but that would make no
They're
sense.
watching the news.
Yeah. Watching Fox.
It says I'm on the run, missing person.
He can see himself in the window.
I'm just in the backyard.
This is still, I mean, the concept of having a professional, like, soothsayer in your backyard definitely is not a thing anymore. But there are still people that, they break away.
Oh, yeah.
They go off grid.
Yeah, there's people living off grid.
Who's that?
and there's-
That Into the Wild dude?
Yeah, the guy who ate some berries and then he died.
Man.
That would suck to be going that far. I mean, doing all that. Then you just to go under by some berries.
Just some berries got you. It's ridiculous.
That's the thing about being a hermit. You got to know how to scavenge.
Yeah, you got to know.
That's what the hermits do. They scavenge. You know? Probably.
I think when I think of the term hermit, I think of a guy that never leaves.
Yeah, that's what it means, doesn't it? He
Yeah,
stays
I
in-
think so. Stationary person.
Yeah.
Like
He'd probably probably not much of a hunter and gatherer then.
No, I don't think he's.
They
out
probably
and about.
they had to really rely on the rich folk.
Nah, he's not playing like ultimate frisbee on the weekends. Or anything.
Look at this really agile, energetic hermit. That's something you don't hear every day. This energetic.
It's just
hermit.
Ewan McGregor out there. Fucking. Why did I say Ewan McGregor? I meant Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Oh, the boxer guy.
I guess whatever.
Wrestler
He
guy, MMA guy.
does. Yeah, he yells at people for a living or something.
Yeah. That he lost, didn't he? He lost his job.
Yes, he
a
did.
bad
He
job.
definitely lost his job. Yes, he did. He got fired.
You get fired from doing MMA. You can never fight again.
Man.
Go live in someone's backyard. That'd be crazy. Your cave hermit's just Conor McGregor.
He's just he's just beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, he's just punching rocks, punching anybody that walks by.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's enough money.
I wonder how much it cost to buy a hermit. back
Now?
then. No, of course.
Oh, back then.
I bet it's pretty pricey now.
I was like, I don't even have enough room for myself. Yeah, man, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what money.
Like comparatively, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
how much?
all right, I've got this wagon, right? That costs.
Oh yeah, they didn't. It probably wasn't even money. They probably bartered.
Yeah,
It's probably a barter system.
but I also think, well,
You gave him some coin. You know?
although it did say
You
that
gave
they
some chickens
did,
and a cow.
yeah, they did pay him money, but I think what you said earlier is probably true too, where it was like most of the payment was,
Through trade.
hey, here's your house. Hey, here's.
Dude, we should do more of that barter trade things instead of having money.
Oh, you mean now?
Oh yeah,
What would
trading
you?
goods for
All right,
stuff.
so let's act
See,
this out. I'm a coffee store guy. I'm a barista, right? I got your coffee. What are you gonna give me for that coffee?
Oh man, maybe a plant. I got a plant.
plant?
Maybe a plant, like a house plant. This is current times. Maybe a house plant. That's kind of. It might be too much for the coffee. Plant sticks around longer than the. Or maybe I'd trade some kind of work, like scrubbing some plates or.
That's some old school shit.
I don't. Yeah, because I was gonna say I can't do too many things. I was gonna
I'll
say
t-
I could write him a story, or I could tell
If
him
we
a
were
joke.
doing a barter system, I would accept your plan for the cup of coffee.
You'd accept the plant.
I would.
Alright, there you go.
Yeah, no flavored coffee though.
Oh
It's
no.
just drip.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, you can't get a latte. None of that shit.
Good.
All right.
Get out of here! I slap it out of his hand. Falls into the plant. We both lose.
God, that would be a good system, right? Barter system.
Yeah, bartering would be good.
Fuck
A
yeah.
little trade. No, none of this
What would
currency.
you do for rent?
Yeah, you'd have to blow
Maintain the
your
house?
You have to blow your landlord.
I am not sucking cock
Yeah.
to have a place.
No, you can't do that. That's
I mean, you can
man. You think people ever made the Cave Hermit do that?
suck their dick.
Yeah.
Probably. They were rich people. They sucked.
Yeah.
They were assholes. to
Man,
this
they probably
guy.
did some bad shit. They probably fucking threw rocks at him and fucking made him eat glass or shit.
What?
Yeah, some fucking like 120 Days of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Good
whatever
Lord.
that
Yeah,
movie's
they probably
called.
did.
That disturbing movie. That's what they probably did. We're thinking these people are all nice, giving them a shit. It was probably gross, man. These people were vile back then. Like you said, they're fucking each other's families.
Yeah,
They're probably treating these hermits like shit.
I'll bet one hermit got. This is fucked up to say, but I'll bet if they were living in a cave, I'll bet the family got drunk one night. They went out there sneakily, right, and they bricked him up inside of his cave.
Oh no!
I bet they did.
God, just wall their ass in.
Just wall them in,
man.
And then they stuck a hose down in there and filled the cave up with water. I'm living out.
They didn't have hoses back then.
They had water for sure.
And just like a family trail of each other holding them a pail.
Yeah, there's
one pail
filling
going
this
in
cave
another,
up with water.
dipping it in the well. You dip it in the well, you pull it because they're sick.
Because they're depraved, decadent rich people.
These rich people, sadistic, how they treat their cave. That's, yeah, we want to think it'd be all good. Like,
but it couldn't have been.
Yeah, people are probably, man, these rich people are probably going through
a dozen hermits a year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 10 or 12 hermits a year. Easy.
Once
of
a
all
month.
the crazy shit they'd be doing.
Yeah. I know I would.
Man, it'd be crazy if there's like a daughter runs away with a hermit situation.
Oh my God.
Like, where's Jenny? She's
That's
not
breaking
in her
hermit
bed.
code, dude.
Yeah, he's really on the lam then. I fell in love with the hermit. Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck
you
you,
can't
Dad.
tell me.
I love Chester.
Yeah, and they have her like, it's old timey. They have her like to be engaged to the prince or whatever to fulfill,
the other royal guy.
Yeah, to fulfill the lineage or whatever. But she runs away and she says,
he's got long
"Fuck
teeth.
you! I want to." Yeah, he's got teeth made of wood. The hermit's got a handsome cock.
What?
That's why she likes him, because he loves her.
And he's got a handsome cock.
Yeah, it's better than
the royal cock.
Yeah, the royal guy. You wouldn't think, but he's got that hermit dick.
It's just all fucking glittery from telling fucking fortunes for years.
Yeah, they're all gonna get some kind of syphilis and die soon. Much like everybody back then, everybody's gonna live till 20 and die.
Yeah, but not the hermit, man.
Not the hermit though. The hermit will move on.
He'll move on to the next estate.
The next cave. Man. Cave Hermit. That's a trip.
Garden Hermit, yeah.
Garden Hermit, the official term.
It was actually, when I found that out, that was a job some dude had, that's what wanted me to do this podcast.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, dude, we got to talk about this.
We got to talk about the Cave Hermit.
Talk about the fucking Cave Hermit, man.
Cave Hermit, Garden Hermit.
Yeah.
Now the hermits of today.
No.
No, there's not, yeah.
We call them hoarders now.
Yeah, there's hoarders. There's like...
They tell fortunes.
You know those people, well, a lot of people have like that grandmother style house in their backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little back
Is that
house.
what they're called? Grandmother style?
I always guest house. Is that
guest
what you mean?
houses, yeah.
Like back houses, guest houses?
Mm-hmm. But that's like it's like having someone, it's usually like a college student, you know what I mean?
If I had a house that had a back house I was renting out, I would tell people that I have a garden hermit.
Yeah, they live in the house behind me.
Back there. Yeah,
just some college student.
Yeah, I can go back there and ask him anything.
A college student.
And he has to answer me.
Yeah, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing with his life.
He's just some science major.
Yeah.
Like, watch. How far away is the sun? And he knows the answer. Like, see, he's a garden hermit.
He's looking it up.
Yeah.
Garden hermits couldn't look it up back then. They had to just
They
wing
always
it.
have to know or lie. That's why that scenario of getting walled up and drowned.
Yeah,
he was
'cause it's
lying
like
to people.
Something happens, yeah, and they're like, "Well, the garden hermit told me."
Man, I'll bet Garden Hermit started a lot of shit.
Oh yeah,
A lot of rumors.
man. I wonder if there's ever like, I bet they ever revolted and like killed their masters,
And then they become...
and then they just live in their rich house because nobody visits them
No,
for like
they,
a long ass
they
time.
do the switcheroo, man.
Oh, he puts them in
He
the
puts
cave.
them in the cave and asks
Yeah.
them weird questions.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
That's what we're doing with GameStop right now.
Man, yeah. I wonder how that's gonna turn.
Who knows?
All the hermits got their money in GameStop.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
The Cave Hermit. That was a good one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very odd job from the past.
Odd job.
And I have another one in my head But we'll wait till next time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, this has been Resignation Podcast.
Hell
Check it
yeah.
out.
Thanks for listening to the Garden Hermit.
Yes.
Um,
Just so you know, you can be whatever you want to be.
yeah.
If you want to sit in a cave in your parents' backyard, by God, who's to stop you?
Resignation.